Justin's behind the camera, getting things started. Good?
See, yes.
Oh, I forgot to mute everyone. Thank you. Yep, it looks good. It's okay. All right, everyone. So grab your strap if you have it. Just place it next to you. We're going to start sitting. Area. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. As we know from how we feel when we are appreciating something, we might already inherently know the benefits, but I decided to look up the scientific benefits of gratitude. And here's what I found on positivepsychology.com in an article called The Neuroscience of Gratitude and How It Affects Anxiety and Grief. It said gratitude in the brain. It enhances dopamine and serotonin, the transmitters responsible for happiness. It reduces fear and anxiety by regulating the stress hormones, cortisol. It fosters cognitive restructuring by evoking positive thinking. It wires and fires new neural connections to the bliss center area called the gray matter. It helps reduce physical pain in a study in 2003 called Counting Blessings versus Burdens. It improves sleep quality by triggering hypothalamic regulation in a 2009 study. And according to the Mindfulness Awareness Research Center of UCLA, stated that gratitude does change the neural structures in the brain and regulates effective functioning of the immune system. Here's a quote by Melody B. Gratitude makes sense of your past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. We're going to end our physical asana practice with a sitting, brief meditation on gratitude. So now as you take a moment to sit and feel what you're sitting on, begin to root down through the left and right sides of your pelvis. Gently draw the belly in towards the spine as you lift the back ribs, lift the chest. As your chin parallels the earth, glide your chin softly towards the back of your throat and lift up through the crown of your head. And as you rest your hands in your lap, maybe the eyes close as you turn your attention inward to scan your physical body. Feeling the way that it's breathing. Notice any sensations that might be calling your attention towards what your body needs in the physical practice today. You might notice thoughts, emotions, and how you're feeling energetically right now. Allow the pause to settle in and recognize what's present within you. And as you down through the sitting bones, breathe in. Hold the breath in. And as you exhale through the mouth, feel the lift of the spine up each vertebra through the neck, through the top of your head. A little slower, inhale deeply. Pressing into the earth. And now, like you're fogging a mirror, exhale through the mouth, lifting up through the center of your spine. Even slower, inhale deeply, grounding. Like you're fogging a mirror, open the mouth, exhale, rising. Begin to feel a balance as you direct the breath in and out through the nose, so that by closing your lips, you help to warm up your body and prepare it for movement. And by gently narrowing the back of your throat, you create a soft whisper to regulate the way you're breathing. Observing moments that you might need to slow the body down to rebalance the breath calmly, or even to be still and rest, or to add intensity, energize. Now, as you continue to listen to your breath, full inhales, equal exhales. Gently open your eyes and reach for your strap if you're going to use one to support your hamstrings today. We're going to begin with a release for the lower back as we open the hamstrings. So extend your left leg forward and take the strap if you're using one and wrap it around the ball of your left foot, flexing your left foot against the strap. Then carry your right thigh over your left thigh so that perhaps your knees stack down your midline. Now feel your two sitting bones again, ground firmly as you hold the strap with two hands, releasing the shoulders back and down. Breathe in, press into the ground. Breathe out, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, and start to hinge forward a little bit from the hips, then pause. Breathe in, ground the pelvis, lengthen through the lower spine, broaden the chest, open the throat, and then exhale, perhaps fold another little bit. Just like that for about 3 more breaths, folding in. If you don't have a strap, you can walk your hands forward, framing your left leg. Notice as you're flexing your left foot, you're spreading the toes, you're activating energy, engaging the front of your left thigh as you support the back of it, grounding the sitting bones, lower back is broadening. Then on your next inhalation, keep firming the belly in, lead with your chest, and inhale to slowly rise up. Let's switch the strap over to your right foot. Flex your right foot against the strap. Take your left thigh and hug it across the right thigh on top. Ground the two sitting bones. Give yourself enough slack to relax the shoulders back and down if you're holding a strap. Otherwise, hands on both sides of the right leg. Breathe in, press into the ground, lift up through the crown of your head. Breathe out. As you hinge forward, hug the belly in, gently firm it against the back. Inhale where you are, firm the pelvis to the floor, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, folding further as you continue to relax the shoulders down, creating space on all the sides of your neck. About 3 more breaths here. So in half cow face pose or Ardha Gomukhasana, give a little release to the lower back as we open the outer hips and the hamstrings. In this way, helping to alleviate the body or meet its needs to be able to find a sense of peace of mind. Lead with your chest. Breathe in to slowly rise up. Nice. Let's put the strap aside and bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Bring your heels close to your pelvis where you could sit tall. And then lifting the chest, lead with it and start to bow forward. Inhaling, press into the earth through the pelvis, stretch through the crown of the head. Exhaling, maybe folding deeper. You might even like to walk the hands forward, helping you to counterbalance the fold. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Continuing to broaden the lower back, open the outer hips, the inner thighs. Massaging the breath in your mind's eye to areas of your body, calling your attention to any more pronounced sensations. And then lifting from your chest, breathe in, slowly rise up. Okay, so let's come down to child's pose. Give the lower back a little more stretch here as you bring the feet together to touch. Separate the knees as wide apart as it allows your pelvis to drop down to your hips, to your feet. And then let your forehead rest down as you actively straighten the arms forward so much that your elbows are not resting on the floor. Now draw your shoulders back and lengthen the top of your head forward. Feel the space in your neck. With your fingertips actively reaching forward, draw your hips back. Knowing that anytime your body is asking to slow down or rest, you have this position to come back to, or any kind of resting position. As you regulate your breathing, listen to your body, and observe what your needs are energetically at this moment, to each moment within this hour. So start to walk the hands over to the right, reaching outside of your mat to help lengthen the left side of your torso. Stay close to the ground. You might even try to reach the left fingertips further forward, bend the right elbow towards the sky. Direct more breathing into the left side of the rib cage and lower back. Can you feel the fullness of your inhalation and the contrast of completely emptying the breath? Taking your time, walk your hands through center and reach over to the left. You might visualize breathing a little deeper into the right side of your rib cage, down into the right side of your lower back. Maybe reaching the right fingertips further forward or bending your left elbow towards the sky. Massaging the breath within the body, allowing for space and ease. Now bring your hands forward and let's rock forward onto all fours, hands and knees, starting to move with the breath. So as you parallel your shin, set your knees right under your hips, set your wrists a couple inches in front of your shoulders. And if you'd like to stretch your inner wrists and forearms, spin out your hands so that to any degree your fingertips turn to face the outer edges of your mat or your knees. And now as you inhale, begin to lengthen your lower spine from your pelvis, coil your chest up, and draw your shoulders down as you lift the heart in cow pose. As you exhale, begin to firm the belly in towards the back, tucking the tailbone under your body as you drop the skull, widen the shoulder blades in cat pose. A few more times. Inhale, slowly stretching the lower spine, and right under your shoulder blades, feel your back bend to lift the chest. Exhale as you hollow the belly and round the back. Feel the pelvis tilt back. And take a few more cycles, whether it be cat-cow or any other organic movement, maybe a lateral stretch in the neck, looking behind one shoulder and the other, maybe flipping the palms to face up for an opposite stretch in the wrists. Maybe swaying the hips to the left, circularly back and to the right. A few more cycles of breath. Allowing your body to move in the way it needs. Now come back to all fours where your hips are right above your knees. Firm the belly towards the back, and as you straighten the arms, crawl your hands forward and try to create the feeling of a flat back as you gaze on the mat just before your hands, drawing the shoulders back. So here's a modified version of downward facing dog anytime you might choose to take it. Drawing the hips back, lifting the navel towards the spine, drawing the shoulders away from the neck, and lengthening the top of your head forward. Rotate the outer sides of your upper arms towards the ground and let your shoulder blades broaden across the upper back. Now, if you're ready to, let's come into a regular downward dog, starting with your wrists a couple inches in front of your shoulders again. Parallel the index fingers as they point forward. And then tucking your toes, bend your knees as much as you need to lift your hips as high as you can to feel length in your spine. Dropping your skull, see that your feet are at least hips width apart and parallel. And then you might want to take a few breaths to shift around. Bending one knee as you press the opposite heel into the floor gives the hamstrings and calf a stretch. Switching sides like you're walking in place. Maybe turning out the straight leg and looking underneath the armpit on that side to open up the side body. Feel the quality of your breathing. Still balanced, still deep. Let your head hang freely, maybe shake and nod your head gently. As you continue to roll the outer sides of your upper arms towards the floor, spreading the shoulder blades across your upper back, and rebounding your weight off the mat as you lift the shoulders, lengthening your neck. As the belly firms in, let's take 2 more breaths here in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Firming the fronts of your thighs back. Feel free to have your knees as bent as necessary. It's okay if the heels don't touch the ground. Now let's take a modified vinyasa. As you inhale, come forward into a modified plank. So your shoulders are right on top of your wrists. Set your knees down. And then shifting forward, bend your elbows back, lowering your chin to the floor. Slide your chest and belly to the ground until your legs are flat, and see that your wrists meet your floating ribs, bending your elbows to hug your sides. Ground your pubic bone. Feel every toenail firming into the earth. Keeping that, draw the shoulder blades down the back and breathe and lift the chest. Look down on the floor ahead for a baby cobra. Take another breath here. Feel the back of your neck long, face relaxed. Press down through your hands, lift up to all fours. Tuck the toes and lift your hips again, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. As we're warming up, we might take it a step further into a regular vinyasa. If you choose to keep the knees, chest, then slide the legs down, feel free to do that modification. Otherwise, this time come forward to a full plank so your legs are straight. Shoulders stack right above your wrists. Look on the floor just ahead of your hands. Lengthen the sides of your neck. As you lift your navel, firm your heels back. Firm the fronts of your thighs. Think of creating a straight line from the top of your head, tailbone to heels. While you exhale to shift forward, bend the elbows to hug your side ribs through Chaturanga Dandasana. Then again, come all the way down. Ground the pelvis and feet. Inhale, perhaps into a higher cobra, relaxing the shoulders. Let's pause here. Now hover your hands off the floor just an inch. Keep bending the elbows close to your sides, and notice how much your back muscles are doing the work to lift your chest, not so much the torque of your hands. Then keep using your back muscles as you lightly land the hands, and breathe your collarbones to expand wide as you ground your feet. Lengthen the tailbone towards them. Then tuck your toes. Either keep your knees on the floor, press up through full plank. Engage your belly to lift the hips back. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, walk your hands back to meet your feet, folding at the rear of your mat. Bend your knees as much as you need, especially if you have any tightness in the back area, so that you can truly relax the spine, relax the head. Now press your fingertips either onto the floor or your legs, and as you breathe in, firm your belly, shift your weight forward, and stretch your spine parallel to the floor. Gaze ahead. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold in. Firm down through your feet, maybe the knees stay bent. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead to rise up, watching your palms touch. Then exhale, trace your thumbs down to your heart and close your eyes. Feel your body breathing. Feel your presence within your body. Gifting yourself the time, the space, the energy to nurture a calmness of mind, a strength of body. Finding appreciation in that. Open your eyes and let's step to the top of your mat. So we're going to start to flow more continuously through a few rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Sun Salutation A. Energizing and warming up. So feet hips width, palms face forward, stand tall. Feel the earth below your feet as you press into it. Inhale, raise your arms towards the open sky above. Exhale, hinge from your hips, bowing towards the earth below. Press the ground of your legs. Inhale, lift your heart and lengthen your spine forward. Carefully place your hands down, step into your version of plank, and either take the modified or full vinyasa to lower. cobra or flip the toes halfway down into upward facing dog. Exhale, engage the belly to help lift the hips back to downward facing dog. Breathe. Feel the steady, calm waves of your breath. In and out through your nose. Then as you bend your knees, lift your heels and hips high, look in front of your hands. At the end of your exhalation, walk or lightly jump your feet to the front of your mat. Then inhale, press to lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold in. Firm down through your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms, looking up as you rise. Exhale, join your palms to meet at your heart. Breathe in, sweep the space around you. Breathe out, dive in. Inhale, lift your heart, expand it forward. Step to plank, lower in your own way, or float back through chaturanga if it's part of your practice. Breathing in to lift your heart. Breathing out to lift your hips. 3 to 5 breaths, steady and downward facing dog. As you add your own flavors and movement, prioritize the balance you monitor in the breath. Now with bent knees, look in front of your hands. The end of your exhale, think of lifting your pelvic floor to lightly land at the top of your mat. Breathe in, lift the heart, look forward. Exhale, bow in. Inhale, root down through your feet and rise up. Exhale your hands to meet at the heart. So let's add on. Turn to face the wide width of your mat and come to stand at the center. Open up your arms, step your feet just about under your wrists as we start to open the hips here in Warrior Two. Rotate from your hips, your thighs, and pivot both feet to face the rear of your mat, so your left foot will be your front foot. Then align your left heel to intersect the arch of your right foot and bend your left knee right on top of the heel. Now as you're turning in the right leg slightly, see that the right knee and toes are slightly facing the rear of your mat. Left outer hip wraps slightly underneath the body. Feel the tailbone point downward. From the top of the right thigh bone back, feel the pelvis as neutral as possible upright. Then reopen your arms. See your wrists again stack above your ankles. And steady your gaze ahead, either just past your left hand or eyes closed. Feel the ground beneath your feet supporting your body. Feel the calm flow of your breath. Let's take 2 more breaths here in Virabhadrasana 2. Now as you press down to your feet, straighten both legs and we'll go right to the other side. So from your hips, rotate your thighs, pivot both feet so that your right foot is now your front leg. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot. Bend your right knee just over the ankle. As your left knee and toes are slightly facing the front of your mat, allow your right outer hip to rotate slightly under your body. As you engage the lower belly slightly, feel your pelvis neutrally upright, helping you to find the most length in your spine, centered between your feet. Re-extending through the arms, relax the shoulders. Steady your eyes, just past your right hand or inward, yet soften your gaze. Soften the muscles on the face. Deep inhale. Equal exhale. Feel the peacefulness of just being here right now. Last 2 breaths in Warrior Two. And straighten your legs. And let's step up to the top of your mat. You're going to take it to another flow as you get a little more energized and warm. So bring your feet to touch, preparing for chair pose. As your big toes come together, heels can be a sliver apart. Bend your knees, let them touch. Now, if you're looking for more rigor, try grazing the floor with your fingertips and keeping your hips that low. Glide your shin bones back, so if you look down, you can see your toes. Then as you look forward, lift your heart. Lift your arms only to the height that your shoulders can relax, your neck stays long. About 2 more breaths in Utkatasana. Now feel that you maintain a natural curve in the lower back as you anchor the tailbone down. With an exhale, shift forward to bow. Inhale, press to lengthen halfway up. Step to plank, take your vinyasa or cat-cow or float back if that's part of your practice. Breathing in to lift your heart. Breathing out to lift your hips. Back to downward dog. Now from here, keeping your hips squared, inhale, raise the right leg behind you. Think of lifting from your inner thigh. As you exhale, bend your right knee towards your nose. Feel the belly engage, then softly land the right foot just inside of your right hand. Separating your feet hips width apart. Spin your left heel down and keep your hips facing forward. Pressing down through both feet, sweep the arms up to rise. Warrior one. Now just a few breaths in the semi-flow. Bend your front knee just over the ankle. Draw your right thigh bone back. Press your left outer heel into the earth. Straighten the left leg and bring the left outer hip slightly forward. Pelvis upright. And with an exhale, lower from plank into your vinyasa or cat-cow. If you need to rest, go straight to downward facing dog. All right, second side, keeping your hips squared. Inhale, raise the left leg back. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose. Feel the belly engage to help you softly land the foot forward just inside the left hand. With your feet hips width apart, spin the back heel down. Keeping your hips facing forward, press through all of your feet, raising your arms and spine to warrior one. A few breaths. Bend the front knee just over the ankle and draw your left hip back. Straighten your right leg, pressing the outer heel down. Send your right hip forward. Feel the frontal hip bone slightly lift, and with an exhale, lower your hands into your vinyasa. Breathing in, lift your heart. Breathing out, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Let's take 3 to 5 breaths here as you slow down your breathing and smoothen it out. Build in the qualities that you want to feel in your body as we flow through the same sequence. Surya Namaskar B. As you focus on your breath and trust your body to follow, allow that one-pointed focus to build a meditation through movement. With bent knees, look in front of your hands. The end of your exhale, walk or float your feet to touch at the top. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees to touch. Inhale, sink your hips, arms up in chair. Press into the ground, exhale to rise up. Let's flow through the sequence twice. Get into the flow of your breath. Steadying the mind. Here we go. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step to plank, float through chaturanga. Take your own version of vinyasa. Breathe in. Breathe out, we'll meet in downward dog. From there, inhale, raise the right leg. 1 breath per movement this time. Exhale, step the foot forward inside the right hand. Dropping the back heel, inhale, rise into warrior one. Lowering as you exhale into your vinyasa. If you want more rigor, lift the right leg as you come down. Feet both down as you inhale to a back bend. Exhale, downward facing. Second side. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, step the foot forward inside left hand, drop the right heel. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower. Your choice, vinyasa, maybe lifting the left leg as you come down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Meeting in downward facing dog for 3 to 5 breaths. Honoring this pause to realign the balance and breath. And attention to your inspiration for this practice. With bent knees, look in front of your hands. End of your exhale, lightly land at the top. Feet touch. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold in. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to rise up. Last time, sun B. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Step or float back into your choice of vinyasa. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower. Flow or no flow, meeting in downward dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Second side, inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, rise, warrior 1. Exhale, lower. Eventually back to downward facing. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Finding stability and a sense of groundedness through constant movement, constant change. Such a powerful tool for resilience. With bent knees, look in front of your hands. The end of your exhale, walk or float your feet to touch. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale, chair. We're gonna do a little something here. So join your hands at your heart as you prepare to twist. See your knees in one line, not one forward or the other. Keeping that, turn your chest to the right by twisting at your waistline. Now you can keep it a free open twist or use the leverage of your left arm pressing against the right thigh, or sink the hips a little deeper, left elbow or upper arm against right thigh. Think of drawing your left hip towards the rear of your mat so that if you look at your knees, they're still in the same one line. Left knee's not forward of the right. Then draw your shoulder blades down your back. Start to shift your weight into your right foot and lift your left heel. Now feel your navel draw in. Look at the front of your mat or past it. Steady your breath and start to step the ball of your left foot all the way to the rear of your mat as slowly as you can. You can place your hands on the floor if you want more support, or play with your balance here as you steady your breathing. Landing in a lunge twist, or rather revolve side angle pose. Now you could always set your left knee to the ground in the lunge if you want more support. Otherwise, firm your left heel back, bend the front knee just over the heel, level out your two hips, contain your center, and continue to twist. Last couple of breaths. Shoulder blades down the back. Last deep breath. Now again, look at your mat in front of your right foot. Start to raise the arms forward all the way up to crescent pose. If your back knee is lifted, bend it. Draw your tailbone downward. Lift your frontal hip bones. And then feel the reach of your fingertips from all the way down to your outer hips, lengthening the sides of your waist. Breathe in, lift your heart. Breathe out, soften the shoulders down. Then join your hands at your heart and spin the back heel down. Align your feet so open up your arms. Scissor your hips towards the back of your mat, reaching the right hand past your right knee so you're lengthening the right side of your torso as you decide how high or low to place your right hand on your leg, or just to the right of your leg, right under your shoulder. Feel that your right outer hip wraps slightly under your body. You're drawing the tailbone back towards your left outer heel, reaching the left arm up towards the sky, stacking your two wrists as you soften the shoulders away from your neck. Lengthen the top of your head towards the front of your mat. And if it feels okay on your neck, look up towards your left thumb. Find one spot to steady your gaze on, about 3 more breaths here. And Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Feel the muscles in the fronts of your thighs engage as you root down through your feet, active in the legs, even as we take this posture to flight. Now spot the ground just ahead of your right foot. Steady your breathing. Bend your right knee, walk your right fingertips about 6 inches forward of your right pinky toe to the right upper corner. Dragging your left foot forward, flex your left foot, lifting the heel to the height of your hip. Imagine you're still stepping on something with that left foot, like the back wall. So reach through the left heel. Continue to draw the right outer hip down under your body and direct your tailbone towards your left outer heel, just like you did in triangle. Feel your left shoulder stack above your right wrist. Maybe raise the left arm if your balance feels pretty stable. Expand with your inhalation. In all these lines of energy, you're reaching through your limbs and spine. Feel the groundedness through your exhalation. The support of the earth under your body. Press into that support. Feel the connection. If you have any other variations to play with, like bending the left knee towards your belly, catching the top of the foot in Chapasana, or lifting a finger or more of your right hand. And when you feel ready, take your time, very slowly stepping the left foot back into Warrior Two, bending the right knee. And once you land both feet, flip your right palm up, sweep it overhead towards the rear of your mat in Peaceful Warrior. Sliding your left hand gently down your left leg. Feel this lateral bend in the spine as you continue to point your right knee down the center line of your mat. Imagine breathing a little deeper into your right lung and down into the crease of your right hip for 2 more breaths. On an exhale, cartwheel your hands to the earth. Notice your breathing. If you're feeling a buildup of heat you need to release, take a lion's breath with me. Deeply inhale into your belly. Open your eyes to cross them. Open your mouth, stick out your tongue. One more. Inhale deeply. Maybe even roar it out as you stick out the tongue. Then with the lips closed, ease the breath in through the nose. Out through the nose, bottom of the exhale, walk or float to the top of your mat. Let your feet touch. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold. Let your knees touch. Inhale, bend your knees, join your hands, chair pose. Keep your knees in one line and exhale, begin a twist to your left. Either keeping it an open twist or sinking the hips low enough to either press the right arm against the left outer thigh or the upper arm as you keep the hands in prayer. Now, as you take a look at your right knee, make sure it's in line with the left knee. You're drawing the right hip back. This helps to ensure you're not turning the pelvis, but rather you're turning the rib cage, twisting at your waistline. As you soften the shoulders away from your neck, broaden your chest. 2 more breaths. Parita Utkatasana, revolved chair pose. Now, before transitioning, look down in front of your mat. Steady your gaze, steady your breath. Shift your weight onto your left foot, engage the belly. Flex your right foot, begin to lift the heel off the floor. Slowly, visualize before you do it, stepping the ball of your right foot to the rear of your mat and coming back to a twist in a lunge. Take your time, deep breathing. You're not too far from the ground, so if you need to touch it and come back, totally fine. Now you can also place your right knee on the ground in the lunge twist or revolve side angle. Shoulder blades down the back, re-level your two hips, a feeling of containing your center as you continue to deepen the twist at your waistline. 2 more breaths. Feel your facial muscles relax. Neck lengthen. Now look ahead of your left foot. Start to lift the arms to rise into lunge, crescent pose. Bend your right knee if it is off the ground to help you anchor your tailbone downward. By lifting your frontal hip bone slightly, level your hips and balance your pelvis upright. Then feel the effect on your spine, able to lengthen more upright. Relax the shoulders, lift the heart. 2 more breaths. Join your hands at your heart, spin the right heel down, and align your left heel to the arch of your right foot, turning your chest completely to face the right. Open your arms for triangle pose. Straightening both legs, slide your hips towards the back of your mat, reaching your left hand past your left knee. Set it down on your leg or just to the left of your leg, where you're still able to wrap the left outer hip under your body, and now direct your tailbone to actively lengthen towards your right outer heel, while lengthening the crown of your head in the opposite direction towards the front of your mat. Feel the space in your neck as you slide the shoulder blades down your back ribs. Feel the blossoming open of the chest and even the back of your heart space as you reach out through the fingertips, maybe gazing up towards the right thumb. Let's take about 3 more breaths. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Now, as we transition into half moon, use this posture, imprint the shape of it and how it feels in your body. Bringing the right hand to your right hip to help transition if you like. Look down ahead of your left foot. Steady your breathing, take your time. Bend your left knee, crawl your left fingertips ahead of your left pinky toe to the left upper corner. Drag your right foot forward, flex your right foot. So as you lift that heel to the height of your hip, you give that right leg the feeling that it's still standing on something solid. Use the power of your mind to affect your body. Steady your breathing. As you continue to roll the left outer hip underneath, feel your tailbone continue to lengthen towards your right outer heel. Crown of your head in the opposite direction, lengthening past the front of your mat. As you open the chest entirely to the right, maybe you raise the right arm. Feel your shoulders stack above your left wrist. Any variation you feel like playing with here. Bending the right knee towards the belly to catch the top of the foot in the counter forces of a bow and arrow, Shavasana. Lifting a finger or more of the left hand. Whatever it is, feel your steady breathing. Feel the earth supporting you underneath. Whatever you're exploring. When you decide to come out of it, bend your left knee, softly step your right foot back to Warrior Two. With both feet on the earth, flip the left palm up and sweep it overhead towards the back of your mat. Peaceful Warrior. Right hand just slightly lands in the right leg, opening the left side of your torso with your breath. 2 more breaths. Press down to your feet. Inhale to rise up. Cartwheel the hands. Last optional vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. So downward facing dog can be considered an inversion, and it's active as we're going upside down. So you could choose to stay here, rest in child's pose, and maybe take it one more time for a few breaths. Or if you have a different heating inversion like headstand, handstand, with or without a wall, feel free to take that on your own. Otherwise, I'm going to lead you through dolphin pose by setting your knees on the ground. And then set your elbows on the ground exactly your shoulders distance apart. Choose to either keep your forearms parallel so your palms are flat, or interlace your fingers so you have a triangular base. Now draw the shoulder blades down your back, lengthening your neck. Draw the belly in towards the spine and tuck your toes. Press down through your forearms to lift your hips up. And then if able to, walk your feet forward while keeping your shoulders just above the elbows or slightly behind. Pressing the chest towards the shins. About 5 breaths before you come down to your knees to rest. Child's pose. And if you want to change it up, you can bring your feet to touch and try raising a leg, keeping your hips squared and flexing the lifted foot. Maybe you take this for a few breaths this first round, and then after resting, you take the opposite leg for a few breaths. Take your time. When you come down to child's pose, give yourself about 3 breaths before going up one more time in your inversion. And once you're up in your inversion, about 5 or so breaths. We'll meet in child's pose again. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. Now from child's pose, reaching your arms forward, slide all the way down into your stomach, coming into Sphinx pose. Bring your knees close together as you straighten your legs behind you and point your toes on the mat. Then keeping your chest lifted, cross your left forearm in front of your chest. Bend your right knee and backstroke your right arm to open the inner shoulder, catching hold of the big toe side, the inside of your ankle or foot. Then with your knees no wider apart than hips distance, ground both of your frontal hip bones. Turn your chest forward. And for a few more breaths, bring your right heel just slightly to the outside of your right outer hip. Feel your tailbone lengthen downward and back towards your inner left heel. Soften the shoulders down, lift your heart. Let's take 2 more breaths here, lengthening the right quadricep. Opening the front of your right shoulder. Then gently release the leg, come back to Sphinx with both forearms. Scoot your knees as close together as you can to start, then cross your right forearm in front of your chest. Bend your left knee, backstroke your left arm, catch the inside big toe side. Knees no wider apart than hips distance. Ground both of your frontal hip bones. Breathe, and bring your left heel slightly towards the outside of your left hip. Both shoulders releasing down. Broaden the collarbones. 2 more deep breaths. Lengthening your left quadricep. Opening the front of your left shoulder. As you release the left leg, lower your forehead all the way to the ground, and let's take Shalabhasana, locust pose. Bring your arms down by your sides, palms face down. Bring your knees no wider apart than hips distance. Point your toes, and as you keep your legs straight, press your heels back so much that you're able to lift your legs off the floor, then coil your chest up to lift your shoulders, then head. Look on the ground ahead as you lift the arms either back, wide apart, or for more rigor, reach them forward so your palms face each other. Take at least 3 more breaths before you lower to rest. Now by spiraling your inner thighs towards the ceiling slightly, parallel your feet, and think of stretching your tailbone back towards your heels as you lengthen the lower back and strengthen it in this posture. Coiling the chest up, and when you're ready to, turn one ear to rest on the ground. Pigeon toe your feet, And take a couple of deep belly breaths. Inhale into your stomach. Exhale to your mouth. Again, inhale into your belly. Exhale to your lips. All right, so you can either take the same posture again, which is great if you're working with any issues in the lower back. Otherwise, you're going to turn it up a notch for the last hard opening back bend into bow. We'll start the same way. Ground the tops of your feet, your pubic bone, arms reaching back. Coil your chest up and lift your legs. Then bend your knees, catch hold of your outer feet if you're entering bow, Dhanurasana, and kick your legs towards straight as you pull your feet. Try to keep your knees no wider than hips width. Now feel, remember in Cobra when we're using the back muscles to coil the chest up, use more of that as you soften the shoulders down, not cranking the neck. Give yourself at least 3 more breaths before lowering to rest. And when you come down to rest, turn your head to the opposite side. And maybe this time you help to loosen your lower back by bending your knees and dropping your shins together left and right a few times. Again, abdominal breathing helps to stimulate your digestion here as you're pressing the belly against the earth. Then as you slide your hands back alongside your floating ribs, press up to hands and knees, and come up to sit. As you sit down, extend your left leg in front of you, preparing for a twist. Either stepping your right foot in front of the hip, or going further, crossing the foot outside your left knee, or going further, bending your left knee too. Circle your right hand behind your pelvis, raise your left arm, and press into the floor as you breathe in to lengthen the spine upright. Exhale, twist to your right, hold your shin, or hook your elbow outside your thigh. Soften the shoulders down, lift up to your crown, and feel it stack above your tailbone within the curves of your spine. As you exhale, feel the belly hollow, giving you room to deepen the twist. Deep inhale. Slower exhale. 2 more breaths. At the end of this exhalation, unwind your spine and let's straighten the right leg. Try to set up the same way unless you've got something different going on this side. Left foot in front of the hip, outside the right knee, and or bend your right knee. Place the left hand behind your pelvis, raise the right arm, breathe in, press into the ground and lift up. Breathe out, twist to your left. Lower your right hand onto your shin or hook your elbow outside your thigh. Broadening your chest. Lift up through the crown of your head, hollowing your belly, deepening the twist. Focus a bit longer on the exhales and the qualities they offer of release, letting go of effort, and cleanse. Last breath here. Then unwind and straighten both of your legs forward. If you still have that strap nearby, you might want to use it around the balls of both feet for Paschimottanasana. Separate your feet hips width apart, flex your feet, ground your sitting bones, lift the spine, and relax your shoulders. If you're using the strap, give yourself enough slack to be able to relax the shoulders. Breathe in, sit tall, breathe out, hinge a little bit at each time, each breath. Imagine there's a string pulling your sternum beyond the space between your big toes. This feeling of leading with the heart physically as you bow in towards yourself. 2 more breaths. Paschimottanasana. Now again, feel that string lifting from the sternum. Lead with your heart as you breathe in to lift your spine upright. Then exhale, lower your spine all the way down. Come onto your back. So right here, bend your knees, catch hold of them with your hands, and gently rotate your thighs apart and together a few times. Massaging your sacrum on the floor, rolling out your thighs at your hip joints. Then step your left foot on the ground and cross the right flexed foot or ankle above the left thigh. Press your right hand against the top of your right thigh, inner right thigh, to splayed open. Relax your head and shoulders on the ground. Either stay here or thread your right hand between your thighs and with two hands catch hold of your left thigh or shin and gently bring the left thigh closer to your belly. You can nudge the right inner thigh open with your right arm. Just a few more breaths here. At the end of this exhale, step your left foot on the ground, step your right foot on the ground. Pause for a breath. Then flex your left foot and cross your left ankle over your right thigh like a figure four. Either press your left hand against your top inner left thigh to splay it open, or thread your left hand between your thighs, catching hold of your right leg with two hands. As you rest your head and shoulders on the ground, gently bring the right leg closer to your body. Continue to splay the left thigh open. Just a few more breaths. This time, raise your left leg towards the sky, raise your right leg towards the sky. Knees can be bent if that's more comfortable, and let your hands rest on your belly. In this very simple cooling inversion, close your eyes and feel the movement of your breath within your palms. Empty this breath completely. Then inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To your lips, exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try counting one more cycle on your own. And as you're ready, begin to lower your entire body into the most comfortable position to rest in stillness for the next few minutes in Shavasana. Letting go of controlling your breathing. Feeling your body breathing. Start to move your fingers and toes. Ease into stretching your arms, your legs, turning your head, and gathering your knees towards your chest. Slowly turn over to your right side. Eventually lifting your body upright to sit for a brief meditation. Continuing the focus on gratitude. So find a way to sit comfortably yet alert, either closing your eyes or gazing half closed towards the ground in front of you. As you sit tall, resting your hands in your lap, feel your natural breath continue to flow. Observing your breathing. As you might notice any thoughts, begin to pull your attention. Rest your attention back to the breath in full presence. Bring your attention to the area of your heart. And at your heart space, observe any sensations or emotions there. Asking yourself, what are you grateful for? Simply notice what arises. Images, words. Breathe. Dwelling on your heart space. Continue to ask yourself, what are you grateful for? Notice what arises. Back to breath. Feel the breath in. Feel it release. And let's join your hands to heart center. Bowing in as we close. Chanting one Om. Take a deep breath in. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.